Hi guys, so this would have to be my very first makeup tutorial. It is my go-to glam look. If you enjoy watching this video, please give it a thumbs up or comment, whatever your heart desires. Alright, let's get to it. So I'm going to start off by moisturizing my face to prep the skin. I've been having a lot of breakouts lately, so my skin has not been looking good. Then I'm going to be applying my favorite chapstick and another lip balm to moisturize my lips even more. So I'm going to be using my ABH Dip Brow Pomade. Because my pomade gets so dry, I apply some Duraline to bring it back to life. So I usually start close to the inner corner of my eyebrow and work towards the outer corner. Then I begin to fill in my eyebrows, starting from the bottom to the top. I don't like to apply too much product towards the inner corner of my eyebrows, so I just use whatever is left over on the brush. I'm going to be using my favorite concealer to carve out my brows. I like to connect my eyebrows together with the concealer so that they look even. Now I'm going to prime my eyelids with the same concealer. Then I go ahead and blend it all out. After blending it all out, I would normally set my eyelids with a white powder from the Chocolate Bar palette, but I discovered that not setting your eyes gives off a more vibrant eyeshadow look. So the first shade I'm using is this tan color, and it's going to act as my transition shade. Because it's the transition shade, I'm going to go ahead and apply it all over my eyelid. Now I'm going in with a darker shade in the outer corner of my eye and slowly blending it towards the inner corner. Then I'm taking this darker shade and just concentrating on the outer V of my eye and slowly blending it towards my crease. Now going in with the first brush I used with no product and just blending it all out. I'm taking this very dark brown shade and again focusing it on the outer V of my eye. Now using the first transition shade that I used, I'm blending it all together. I'm using a metallic eyeshadow from Smashbox. Using a small flat brush, I'm going to be applying it in the inner corner of my eye and bringing it towards the center. I apply some glitter glue because I want the eyeshadow to pop. Going in again with this dark brown shade, I'm going to apply it where the metallic eyeshadow ends because I don't want there to be a harsh line. Then I'm using the same transition shade and making sure everything is well blended out. I'm also reapplying the darkest shade just to darken up the look. And then again taking the second eyeshadow shade that I used and reapplying it just because I thought it lost its color. So I lost a clip where I did my eyeliner, but basically all I did was I drew a thin line on my lash line. While I wait for the eyelash glue to get tacky, I go ahead and apply some mascara. Then I apply the falsies with my fingers. I don't like using tweezers or any other tool. My fingers work best. You want to make sure it feels a little cold when you put it on your lash line, just to make sure the glue hasn't dried out completely and it's going to stick well to your lash line. To prime my face, I'm using the Smashbox Primer Water. Then I go in with the Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer and I apply it to the areas of my face where I want it to be smooth. Now that I have primed my skin, I move on to my foundation and I use the Estée Lauder Double Wear. I love this foundation because it is full coverage and matte, which is what I really need for my skin. If I feel like some areas need a little bit more coverage, I go ahead and reapply a second layer. So for my concealer, I used to use the LA Girl concealer a lot, but I've been liking the Shape Tape lately. So for my loose setting powder, I use my Holy Grail Lower Mercier. When I set my under eyes, I like to make sure that the sponge is still damp, that way it'll prevent my under eyes from creasing. After I have set my face, I go in with the fluffy brush and remove the excess powder. So for my bottom lash line, I basically repeat the same steps that I did for my eyeshadow. I start off with the transition shade. Believe it or not, this is my least favorite step because it makes my eyes water a lot. Then I go in with the second eyeshadow shade that I used for my eyeshadow. And then to deepen it up, I use the same dark brown shade. For my waterline, I use this intense black eyeliner from Marc Jacobs, which I love. I lightly bronze my face with the Hoola Bronzer. Then I go in with the fluffier brush to make sure everything is well blended out. Now onto my blush. I like to use a blush that matches my skin tone in a way. That way it doesn't look so harsh or so bright. Then I carve out my cheekbones using the same loose powder I used to set my face. I drag a line from my ear to the outer corner of my mouth because that's where the hollow of your cheeks are. After I let it set for a while, I go in with the fluffy but dense brush and remove it. Sometimes I like to go in with the lighter shade and brighten up where I carved my cheekbones. I don't always contour my nose, and when I do, I just hope for the best. So I use like a blending brush because if you use a really dense brush, you're just going to get straight lines on your nose. Then I just cut the edges of my nose to make my nose look slimmer. So the first highlighter I use is the Artist Couture in Gold Digger. I use this one first, and then I go in with my ColourPop highlighter in Spoon. So I do apply this highlighter with my fingers because it's kind of hard to apply with the brush. I then remove the powder from my nose. Using the ColourPop highlighter, I apply it to the areas where I want it to pop. So if I feel like I missed some spots in my eyebrows that I didn't fill in, I like to go in with a dark brown eyeshadow. Because I ran out of my MAC Fix Plus, I just used my Mario setting spray. After I sprayed it all over my face, I like to go ahead with my fingers and pat my face to make sure there's no blotches of spray left over. So the last step would be my lips, and for this look I decided to use a matte lip color. I use a damp spoolie with some bar soap and I apply it to my eyebrows so that it acts as a hairspray. And there you have it, my go-to glam look. I hope you guys like this makeup look.